Hi. I have been absent for a while, and what is even funnier is that I told you there was going to be. I needed this absence, I needed this present moment, I needed some time for myself, go through certain things as we all do, to be able to orbit back to myself and come back to you with something. You know that my purpose here is live life and go back to you with something that is more concrete and something that maybe helps each one of you go through something, probably in a different way, but I didn't even realize how much I needed that absence, and this was until I was in it. I took some days off just to recharge and just to think about life. We are in the year of the snake at this moment, the year of the horse is coming, so it makes complete sense. But how funny is that I took these days off exactly when I needed them the most. I didn't feel like I owned an explanation. I just took these days off to be able to think, create, and come back to myself. The idea of choosing yourself, the idea of choosing myself when I need to breathe, and the idea of living life in your own terms is just beautiful. You know that we are doing the Artist Dates, the Artist Way of Julia Cameron, and I came back to this book millions of times. It is probably the second or third time in which I'm really trying to finish this book. Once, I just understood that to go through this book in your own kind of time. We are at week 2 at this moment, again, and such a coincidence that it's all about finding yourself, and it's amazing. Went on solo dates, we walked with some headphones, and I was sitting in a coffee and just writing and journaling and just having some time for myself, and I needed that. Going on solo dates and be the most creative version of myself whilst drinking my tea and painting, or maybe writing, or even just being present and look through a mirror and try to understand life. That's just beautiful. And that probably grounded me more than anything and anyone, and I needed that. And that's funny because whilst everything happened in this moment, I then came back to the Artist Way, and it was again and again, and I've returned to this book really multiple times until I understand that maybe this was the perfect time for it, especially for the week 2, in which we are finding ourselves, and we are going through the solo dates, and we are creating the space and trying to be present. But at the same time, what happened is reading all of the pages for the week 2 and doing all the little exercises reminded me, or maybe tried to push me to think and having thoughts around what I truly need and what I truly deserve, who I truly am, what's my life, and things that we all think. Now, I don't have an answer yet, but I'm continuing to do this because I think it's really helpful. And I think it's really helpful because we are meant to go through these thoughts. We are meant to go through this kind of questions and observations about life. And it will bring us to what we truly want and who we truly are, especially when we don't feel what we want fully. This week was really hard. It probably brought up things that I needed to go through, and I'm sure a lot of people are in the same situation at this moment with the year of the snake passing by. But I think it will be helpful, and it really helped me going through the thoughts and observation of life. So if you think about it, the snake brings all narratives, things that you need to shed, your questions about who you are and what you truly deserve in life, and the snake sheds the skin, so you are shedding things that no longer serves you, things that aren't really meant to be yours. And it could be things about yourself, things about your life, your career path, your personal life, or emotional, romantic life. Depends on, whatever sign you are and what are your thoughts in this moment in time. But the ear of the snake put you in those difficult situations and conversations with yourself and other people, so you can understand exactly what you want and who you want to be and what your life looks like. And there's the second part, because the snake sheds and then the horse arrives, and the year of the horse brings you forward no matter if you are ready or not, but moves forward if you are ready or not. But trust me, you are, because you went through some things this year. Things that you are going through at this moment are for a reason. A lot of people are in the same situation at this moment, and just things that for a while were perfect and truth to who you truly were, maybe no longer are. So it's all about this tension that was clear before and now it isn't. And I think it can also be incredibly beautiful, because that can feel scary, not knowing exactly what you want. And again, that's absolutely okay. And maybe things that for you don't make sense anymore, but you still don't know exactly what's next fully. And it's such an incredible observation to make. The fact that life is all about decisions and taking the leap. And if something is not worth it, and if something is not meant for you, it will not be, just because at your core you know exactly what you want and who you are. So you are taking all of these leaps and making these difficult decisions and conversations so you can finally be who you want to be and do what you want to do. Unfortunately, you have anxieties and stresses and things that you are ready to shed. And maybe you grow, but you still are uncertain about the future and what you truly want. Sense, and it's completely fine, because what will be and what needs to be, it will be. The horse, it almost gives you a free kind of freedom and going through the motion in flow, but this time aligned. So it's the first time I'm choosing presence over performance, or trying to be someone, trying to do what I think is best, but actually start doing it. So I think going through the solo dates and having these creative selves were meant to be an awareness and an observation around what life you truly desire. You cleared what no longer served you, when you created presence with the quotidianity of life, and just with simple things like drinking a tea or a coffee and just slowing down and being present and observing things that happen in your life and accepting the cry and the laugh and the stresses and the anxieties, but at the same time a little more aligned with who you are. So if you're listening to this and thinking maybe this is familiar, you are here in this moment in time as well, and you're trying to figure things out, I just wanted to remind you that if you don't know exactly what that means for you and what next looks like for you, it's completely fine. You are in the between, and the pink orbit was created for the in-between life, for things that you are currently experiencing and things that are meant for you. And I know that those things will happen, even if you don't have an answer yet, and even if you don't know exactly what to do at this moment in time. All the situations that are happening now are meant for you, and you will make decisions and you will create the life that you deserve. But you need to take the leap. Yes, some things could be plans, some things could be strategic, they need to be. I love a good plan. But at the same time, if you don't have it all figured out, you don't need a 5-year plan. You're just meant to be present and observe. Because again, sometimes the most truthful and beautiful thing you can do is stay within yourself and hear what the truth is. Just stay within yourself long enough to hear what's truth, long enough to orbit back to yourself. And the fact that you have the awareness brings you back to yourself and reminds you of who you are. So this is not a comeback, this is not a concrete update. It's more of a, if you are in the in-between at this moment in time, it's fine and that's enough. Just remember to be present. Again, the year of the snake was hard. We are all ready for the horse to arrive, but at the same time, if we are not ready, things are going to happen anyway. And we just need to remember that presence is all we have. See you next time.